This is the way Tzeachten First Nation looks today. But our dear elders remember a time when the whole valley was different. The waterways were our highways, and the vehicle of choice was a canoe. The Chilliwack River, before it was diverted, ran right through the Tzeachten Reserve.
The river ran back through this way. It turned by the big rock just over here and turned back and ran through Tzeachten. So I would say it went right through where the school is and where we are now. We're in gravel soil here, and I think that's from the river, the original river that went through here. And it went down, back down toward Chilliwack River and Promontory Road and out towards Sardis. I do know that the river ran that way. I was told for when the fish traps were down by Bailey and Chilliwack River Road.
There was plenty of fish to be caught in this river, and the best way to capture enough to feed the people was to set up fishing weirs. The language of the First Nation people, the Stalo people in this territory, is Helkamalem, and Tzeachten means place of the fishing weir.
Which to many people would look quite strange because we're high and dry here. There are no waters here, but in essence at one time this was a very valuable fishing site where fish weirs were used by the local First Nations to capture fish.
You didn't just stop off at the grocery store to get your food. Our ancestors traveled the land to hunt, pick berries, and fish throughout the territory to survive. Because this way of survival was seasonal, the Tzeachten people traveled the land and stayed for many months at a time in various locations. The whole territory, from mountain to mountain, was available for their needs. They traveled the land by horse and buggy. Every outing was a long journey that could take days, weeks, or even months. When the European settlers arrived, they began encroaching on the land. Governor James Douglas sought to ensure that Stalo had efficient reserve lands to retain their traditional lifestyles while gradually adopting European farming. When he retired, Governor Joseph Trutch was not so fair to the Aboriginal people. He reduced Stalo reserves by 92% and reversed and revoked earlier government promises of fair land dealings and financial compensation. This cut Tzeachten people and neighboring tribes off from the various land areas they had grown accustomed to using for their needs.
This was a major part of our life, having the rivers and the lands. And we're losing that. You know, we're becoming more, some people call it civilized, but you know, I think it's a loss of a way of life that we had.
Today, the Tzeachten people are still very strong. Along with the other Stalo, they continue to fight for the land that is rightfully theirs.
These lands are few and far between, and hence they're very valuable to the First Nations.